Nearly half of crypto owners first bought the digital assets in 2021. This is tough. Mudbad, I sell crypto. Whenever it's going up, I sell. Whenever it's going down, I buy. So I'm always selling. Always to cash in the bank account. Dude, all these people are from 2021. They're gonna get roasted, aren't they? And I feel like I'm the only person talking about this. Very few people are saying, I don't understand how there aren't people who are big in NFTs, or have a lot of money in NFTs. They're just not saying that it's good, like a bubble, and that there's a big problem here, and that all these projects aren't delivering anything, and it's kind of totally just a Ponzi scheme. I can appreciate the value that's being created in NFTs, and then also be like, dude, this is not looking great. A lot of these projects, they're still making money. Yeah. So it's dude, are you really genuine about the information that you're giving out if you're not, you're just to the moon? Are you just here for this cycle? And then you're going to be broke? I don't know. But it doesn't seem like a well-rounded, thought-provoking stance where no one is I don't know. I just don't see enough people talking about the potential downsides here, because I think it's important. And then it's going to go down and everyone's going to forget that everyone was hyping everything up. But it's dude, we're in total bubble territory. Things are not looking good. Everyone's joining the space. We should probably be... Yeah, there is, it's... The problem is, a lot of the use cases is, this was already a thing, right? You were already able to do what NFTs provide without NFTs. The only difference is it added a marketable face that could be held in your wallet, right? So, if you needed to make a one-of-one token, that was not an impossible thing, right? You can have a private Discord channel where you only let in certain people. Totally possible to do. Or if you sell a digital item on Shopify, you give it a unique code and you store that code in your server, and then you email it to the person, and then the only people that can get access to something have that unique code, or a ticket with a QR code. The problem is that it made a marketable face, and then something happened here where it just took off, and then the narrative, it slipped. So the narrative that got it started is not the narrative that's happening now, and we're in a really weird thing where it's first it was and this is not happened with crypto, which is why I think it's different. What happened with crypto is they solved the mathematical problem of distributed blockchains and the two generals problem, and how to make sure that a network that's distributed could stay synced up and people couldn't do a double spend that was, and you couldn't mint more of a token, right? That's still true today. With NFTs, what happened is it started as art, and people were you don't get it. It's art. It's digital art. And then it was you don't get it. It's a community. And then when it was the digital art, it was dude, I'm gonna hang my you don't understand, when I'm a millionaire, I'm gonna hang it in my house, and I'm gonna be the only one that can put my Bored Ape on the wall on a digital thing. And then it was no, it's gonna go in my metaverse room. The room that I have in the metaverse is gonna have all my NFTs in it. And then, no one gives a fuck about that now. Now we just told we're brainwashed, where it's the Men in Black where they shoot the thing and you forget everything. Nobody cares about that. In my metaverse, my digital house, so what are you talking about? That's 20 years away, and that's also not going to be true. And then also I'm going to put whatever fucking picture I want to put in my house, because you don't need to own shit. You can just mint a new one. And so it's all a lie to cover up this money thing, right? Audi, I think, talked about it. Why isn't everyone talking about this? And now it's about utility. Then it moved into community, After the art thing, it moved to community. It's like, oh, there's a lot of alpha. And now there's so many alpha groups that I can't fucking keep track of it all. So there is no alpha. If there's too much information, now there's not one place I can look. Now I have 85 discords that are my alpha discords. I'm getting no alpha. I can't. And now, yeah. So there was this whole thing about like, oh, like it gets alpha. And that was true for a second, right? I was in the monkey DAO and there was a small enough amount of information where I could like go to monkey DAO and then like a couple of the people would be like, hey, you should go mint boring protocol. And I would do it and I would make money. Because there was a small group of people. And now there's 85 of those groups of people. And I don't have time to be on Discord all day, sifting through. And I could not tell you what's good information and what's bad information now. Because it's just all there. There's like copy pasting and here's what's minting today. And it's like, oh, good. So I'm going to go fuck myself because I literally can't. It's like too much information. And now that means the information's useless, right? If it's not pinpoint, what am I supposed to go put $100 into every single project? And then how does that work out for me? I don't have enough skin in any one thing. I can't make a concentrated bet, so I can't make money. So now you have all these DAOs. There's a million DAOs, all with their alpha. Community doesn't mean shit anymore. People are just jumping from place to place. And then it's utility, and it's like, oh, okay, you can stake the shit, right? And then you get these tokens back that you're then going to be able to buy some more NFTs or the next drop or whatever. It's just pushing it further down the line. Just pushing it further down the line. And it's like, I don't know I feel like I'm in crazy land. Like no one's like, this is like maybe a little bit bullshit, you know? I don't know. That's my rant for the day. And people look at me in my real life, and they're like, don't be pessimistic or whatever. And it's like, listen, I own a lot of money in NFTs because I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to miss out on some shit if I'm wrong. So I'm hedging against my belief, right? Or I believe one thing and I'm saying, but I could be wrong. I could be the idiot here. Except for when I'm the only one saying this, it's hard to be the only person saying this because I'm on crypto Twitter. I don't see anyone talking about the fact that there's like some real problems. And then every time I do talk about it, everyone's like, you don't get it. You don't want NFTs to work. It's like, listen, if they work, I make more money than anyone. So great if that happens. I just don't like, people are like, oh, I've had conversations and it's like, but people said the same thing about what you were talking about, me, when crypto started out. 2012, I was telling everyone, like, hey, this is like a new thing, it's interesting, and they're like, hey, when you were talking about crypto, it felt the same as the NFTs, and I'm like, the thing is that no, it didn't. Like, there's a mathematical breakthrough with crypto that was an improvement to the server, to the AWS server, in certain circumstances, and not in all circumstances. And now everything's an NFT. You want your movie tickets to be NFTs. You want the in-game assets to be NFTs. You want your art to be NFTs. What's not an NFT now? What? I literally don't know what's not an NFT. Everything's an NFT. And there's money to be made, but when the money stops for a second, all it takes... I think I have a quote. And let me pull this up because it wasn't about NFTs, but I think it actually illustrates really well. I might have saved it on my Instagram. Let's see. If not, I will paraphrase it, but it's like, it only takes a second to lose. Okay, I don't think I have it. But it was like, it only takes a second to lose your reputation, right? It takes years and years and years to build up something, and it takes 1 second of fear to completely drop it. Yeah, Lana Rhoades scammed thousands of people. Yeah, Gary made it work for him. He made it work for him. I also think he's doing things that aren't going to work, you know, like the Fly Fish Club, where it's like a restaurant where you have to have an NFT and you sell your table or whatever. I think that's... Not everything's an NFT. And not everything should be a startup. Not every startup is going to make $1 billion. Not every startup is venture capital investable, right? Like, I think there's a lot of... So there's a lot of that. I don't know if I sound bitter or if I sound realistic or like, you know, or what it is, but it's tough to have this mindset or this belief system when everyone else on crypto Twitter, like, I can't really voice my opinion because it's like, I don't know, you know what I mean? It's a little bit tricky. But if you look at the top projects, I own all of them. So financially, I'm invested in it going up. So I do, like, sometimes I have a belief that's the opposite of my financial, like, I'm hedging. Like, you know, a hedge fund, you buy shit that's the opposite of your position because what you want is non-volatility. Like, that's the goal. You want non-volatility. So, in a hedge fund, you buy... How would you do this? Let's say you buy futures of electricity cost or whatever, but on the downside that doesn't happen, it's called downside protection. You want to invest in also an opposite asset so that no matter what happens, if one goes up, the other goes down. If this one goes up, then the other one goes down. So no matter what, you're probably going to be making money, and then you have to sell, obviously, when one's up, and then you reinvest and rebalance your portfolio so that you're always generating capital. Yeah, exactly, Sharp. Like, I have to, and that's sort of how that's sort of how I play everything, is like, I want to never be wrong. And I know that means that I don't make as much as I could if I put my chips all on one thing. But and Killian has said this too, like, my strategy is have one foot in, both sides. So if it goes up, I'm happy. If it goes down, I'm happy. Because I get to buy more, and I will buy more because I have money earmarked for that. And if it goes up, I'm happy because I have more money. So it's like this thing where it's like never put yourself in a position to let random events make you unhappy. And this is not a conversation about unhappy. It's a financial thing. But yeah,